Hey guys, how are we all? Video 1.5 times speed, and let's get into this. I'm not just trying to waste anyone's time, get through the information as fast as you can on all YouTube videos, as long as it's not music when it kind of sounds weird. Today we're going to talk about Photofeeler. It's come up a few times on the forum that I moderate, the Kill You in a Loser forums, talk about them all the time, great community, get on there if you want to get into self-improvement in a hardcore way. We talk about your fitness life, your dating life, your business life, any goal you can think of. There are probably guys there working on them, and they'll be happy to share their insights. You can read their journeys, etc. This discussion about Photofeeler is interesting for a few reasons. So I have some opinions, and what I really want to go through is kind of the strengths and weaknesses of Photofeeler and how it compares to the other option, which is testing your dating pictures just on Tinder straight away and seeing how they do. The guy that started this conversation, I need to preface by saying that we're not talking about newbies here, because if I heard a newbie say, oh, I'm spending a lot of time on Photofeeler, I would say, look, you kind of need to be spending most of your time on Tinder and seeing what the feedback is on there. I think newbies shouldn't use such things, really. They should be asking guys who are ahead of them for advice, and then they should be throwing the pictures they think are good on Tinder, and they should be seeing what matches they get, whether they go on any dates, whether those dates progress into anything else. That's the best feedback you can get. And even with intermediate and advanced guys who've had a bit of experience, guys who've dated a lot, Tinder is still going to be the best feedback you get. Like, Tinder is, and this guy who I'm talking about, he even put like, I just need some kind of more, what's the word, efficient way of grading my photos, because I can't be asked to go on Tinder and spend ages working out and tracking the data. Now, yeah, I kind of agree. Like, if you've already got a bit of experience and you don't want to waste a lot of time, Photofeeler can be an option just to kind of get another idea, another viewpoint. But you should still value the information that comes back from Tinder more than anything else anywhere else you go. So yeah, Tinder's always going to be the main source of feedback, and you should always trust what's happening on there over what, like, outside, like what someone tells you about your photos or what Photofeeler says. Now let's talk about Photofeeler itself. So it's basically a site where you throw up photos and people vote on them, and then you get a score back on how the photo does, and you get attractiveness, intelligence, and trustworthiness if you're doing it for dating. And one of the theories that this guy had was that if you get a high attractiveness but low intelligence and trustworthy, that will screen in for girls who were more likely to hook up and more likely to have casual relationships, which is what a lot of us are looking for. This falls in line with the screening theories. So Andy, for example, uses BDSM photos, like photos that show what he's looking for. And also, because he's got a girlfriend now, they both put photos of themselves up. So whoever matches with them knows that they're dealing with a couple, and they're dealing with a couple that's in the BDSM. This is an interesting, basically it doesn't allow him to match with any girls who aren't looking for what he's looking for. So that's why a screening kind of works in that way. For him, therefore, Photofeeler would be useless. It's a little bit me as well. I'm screening for a particular kind of girl. Like, I'm going for party girls. So I have a lot of photos of me at parties, at raves, blah, 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 living that kind of lifestyle. That's the girl I'm after. So that's what I screen for. So again, Photofeeler is going to have some things to say about the general attractiveness of my photos, but I don't have a generic profile. So I don't really actually, what's the word I'm looking for, value it as much as, I guess, feedback I'm getting from the girls I'm matching. The other thing to know about Photofeeler is it uses an algorithm to weight scores. So there is a data tab on Photofeeler where you can go in and look at the raw vote data. But if you look at just the number score that each photo gets based on everything together, they are weighting it based on the voting patterns of the people who are voting on your pictures. So it's not quite the raw data you think it is, because they're using an algorithm to adjust the scores. You can do certain things to make the data more useful. You can change it to like girls only, for example, and you can also change it to the age range. Again, people can just lie and say they're a girl and they're like 24 when they're a 50-year-old guy. So yeah. The other weakness compared to Tinder is obviously that on Tinder I can see which girls are matching me. So like the girls that match me, I can see if they're the kind of girls I'll be into. Whereas you'd have no idea who's like liking your photo on Photofeeler. You never get to see them, like nothing at all. The thing with the algorithm adjusting it, I've had 2 photos that basically had a whole point difference in terms of the score, but had the exact same voting pattern on them. I'll show you. I'll put these photos up now because I'm going to talk about them a little bit more. The other thing is, one of these photos did a lot better than the other one on Tinder. Just getting me many more matches, way more of the girls I was interested in. The photo with the Oakley hat is the photo that is my best ever score on Photofeeler. It's like 9.1. The photo with the black hat is like an 8. I think it dipped down to 7.9 last time I checked on like 100 votes. And that has done like orders of magnitude better than the Oakley hat picture has on Tinder. I can't explain why, but the Photofeeler data just was wrong. It just was completely wrong, and I've experienced this firsthand. And I saw another guy on the forum, a friend of mine, he posted the exact same thing, where one of his photos had done really well on Photofeeler in the generic voting population and had performed really badly compared to other photos on Tinder. So yeah, Photofeeler is what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. It can give you a rough idea. That's what I want you to take away. It can give you a rough idea of how good your photos are and which ones you should be using. But I wouldn't use it for necessarily over like just testing long-term on Tinder, which photos are doing well. Don't ignore what your Tinder results are saying about your photos in favor of what the Photofeeler score is. That would just be really stupid. But yeah, use Photofeeler if you want. I recommend not spending too much time on the site. Just if you can afford it, just throw money at the votes. If you can't afford it, just do it every now and again until you've got at least 100 votes before you make any kind of inferences on a photo. You need a decent sample size. I don't think you're gonna be able to pay for like 1,000 votes, which would be like an actual really good sample size. But if you can get to 100 votes, that'll give you a rough idea. But yeah, like 100 votes is still like a very poor sample size. If you've got loads of money, just throw up to 1,000 votes on every picture. Why not? I don't know. Some people are fucking rich and have no idea where to spend their money. Alright guys, that's everything. That's all I got to say. This is a bit more conversational, I know. Peace out.